Hey guys, happy afternoon. Hopefully, where you're at, it's 5. It's at the bar. I'm live, and I am still the wicked lady hippie. And I said, running late today. Forgive me, I run sound and everything here, and half the time I feel like I'm talking out of a tin can. I'm at my own bar at home. I love this. This medium is absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I see where they're starting to crack down now and take away social media and stuff from the kids in the United Kingdom. And I'm waiting to see what the rest of the EU does as well. I do believe that Elon Musk buying Twitter really saved everyone and kept all of us in an arena where we could get up and we could talk to each other. We could talk to ourselves. We could do what we wanted to do instead of watching the same old, tired, mostly lies about anything on the television that we grew up with. It's just not been watched in decades. I haven't. Um, I promised there's all kinds of stuff going on, of course. I'm sorry, I haven't got my live chat up. I'll throw that in. So if you want to throw it in there, live chat's up. If you see me later, click the like, the dislike, do something, throw a comment, shut up, bitch. I don't care. Apparently they like that at the channel. I had a horrific accident, was off the air for 10 months last year. And when I came back, I couldn't get my old channel to work very well. They had paused it, but they did release it, and it filmed for about 3 days, I think it was. And then my husband just got me new equipment because we thought maybe because it had set up. So he went and got new equipment, and still it wasn't working right. And finally, I just said, I'm just going to try to open a second channel, and if not, get through and the YouTube studio and see what's going on here. So thank you for listening to all that. You got more courage than most of us. So we are back, and we are on our second channel. I'm usually just a lady hippie at the bar. I threw Wicked in and live because I am. They gave me that nickname when I was in the Army. Um, we were the first women in boot camp with the men. They phased out the wet corps apparently while I was in flight to take my training. And so I ended up with well, we ended up with Vietnam Airborne Rangers as well, everybody, drill sergeants, COs, you name it. They was what the shit to do with a group of kids who were women. They could, it's a different thing with a boy. But we told, and they told us that, we're not going to treat you any different. We're like, okay. We were given the exception to say no, and we would be returned. And it wouldn't be, bad thing or record or what have you, because it literally was changed while we were, you know. So watch Private Benjamin's. It's close, and she got my part, but it's not as good as mine was. I don't have time to tell you a whole story. The Charlie Kirk, or I'm sorry, Charlie Kirk. I see they're still using his name to ride on when they couldn't even stand by him when he'd been shot. They were off that stage in less than a second. It was timed. You saw every one of them turn immediately with the phone and leave for the parking lot and other vicinities. They weren't ducking. They weren't scared. They weren't screaming. They weren't running. They weren't helping their friend. They didn't even look at their friend. Their friend, Charlie hadn't even fallen out of the chair yet when those three people left. And they've come up with every excuse in the book. UT should have done it, or UV, well, whatever it is. University of Utah should have taken care of it. The police in Utah should take care of it. Everybody but the $1 million security team that he was paying. Yeah, well, they brought 13 people, and the guy, and he sounded like that was important. They usually only brought 5 or 6. They brought 13. It's just can't make that shit up. Then the Robbie McCoy, he too is a veteran, which is really suck. I'll tell you, it sucks. He's still up there preaching. First off, I got a call from Mikey and said Charlie'd been shot, blood everywhere. I got blood all over me. Call a prayer session. We don't know how bad it is. Well, of course, I never even saw the boy fall to the floor. He turned immediately and left. And Robbie McCoy is sort of people like us started saying, and this isn't like when I heard this, I hit my knees and I cried like I hadn't felt since Princess Diana was murdered, and yes, she was murdered. You can call me a conspiracy theorist. I'm bored. Bring the Black Hawks. I ain't seen any cute boys lately anyway. Because of us, though, at least now we've got female fighter pilots and shit. You didn't have that shit when I went active duty. Yeah, that dates me. I give a rat's ass. This is not for children, if you can't tell. And yes, I am at the bar. I quit smoking. I love getting older. I quit smoking. Well, that and the price. Um, some time ago, 5, 6 years ago, and I was in and out of the hospital. It was pretty bad. And so, family has fits. And says, you got to quit. I'm the last remaining family of my direct lineage. Mother, father, sister, brother. That way, I have my own son and 2 grandchildren to carry on my line. And I'm not certain that the grandchildren. I think my line made in with the grandchildren. That's all there. That's the way it is apparently now. When my grandson, he's also an Army veteran, went in the Army because of me, went through ROTC because of grandma. He came back from serving in Korea. I did not understand who that dude was. We were condoning mass murder in Gaza, genocide. We're like, squeeze me? And it went from there, and suddenly he's yelling at me in my living room. And for those of you who don't know me, don't ever try that. He got off a couple of scrapes, and then Grandpa was running in. So he figured out he should go home. I talk to him now only once or twice a year at the high holidays. And I make sure that I speak of nothing political or religious, because suddenly I'm on the wrong side of the bar. I don't know. This kid's, he was like my own kid. It was like I had my son and then I had another son. He stayed at my house all the time, almost 100%. His father lives just one exit away, and he was still at grandma's. He did all of his schoolwork here. I went to his school for all this stuff, and I mean, he could finish my sentences. I could finish his sentences. He comes back, and I know who the absolute fuck all he is. He saw far over into the left that, it's the pride flag, and we don't understand, and white people did this shit, and my mind was just exploding. I was like, who the fuck are you? And this is my grandson eating. I mean. Back to this one. I get little cigarillos so I can calm down. Usually up here, they go out when I'm talking, and so I only get like maybe 3 or 4 hits. And it's not like I'm smoking, 20 cigarettes. I have my stiffener. They call it a stiffener because I was adopted by people who were World War IIers. Actually 1914 born, so they were World War One, the Depression, World War. That was so they were fucked. They grew their own shit. They canned, they fruited, they did all that stuff. The women, however, certainly, when there was a big holiday and a bunch of people were coming, one of them would eventually faint in the chair on the sofa. They never hit the fucking floor, so they'd go get him a drink. Just a little one. They'd sip it and throw back my whiskey. I don't sip it. I do like Scotch style. The 12-year-old, those are sipping. Oh. And I like it on ice. So a lot of people think I'm drinking a lot at the bar during my little series. This is what I drink. This is a whiskey sourdough. My husband buys these in that airplane-sized bottle. God knows what they have now. Last time I flew, I said I'd never do it again. It was this century, but fuck it all. They actually, that last flight, they added more seats. I was like this the whole time. I am not that big a woman. I mean, but my seat was next to firemen who were going to these big, beefy men. I was the only female for like 3 rows here on the side of the window side. And the guys are trying to they can't. They're not fat. They're just big, husky men. I'm like, oh my God. So I get the cigarillo while I'm up here, and the ladies used to faint. I've never fainted in my life, so I've made this part of my routine. If I want one, I get one. The hell with them, girl. I have been everywhere in the last 2 days, it seems. Generally, like last year, I ordered everything online, because I was sequestered at home for so long, and still am in some ways because I'm still going through physical therapy and that so much. I can't stay up on the leg very long. I can run around a little bit, but I'm gonna pay for it later. So here I'm at. I said, "Oh, here we go." So we went to Burlington. I love going to Burlington, and we ended up buying ourselves stuff for us, and I've got my son and two grandchildren, and I bought both of them a lovely thing for Christmas. And suddenly, the grandson, this is bar equipment, kind of sort of, but it's for if you don't have a bar. It's just a night thing. And he says, I'm not drinking anymore. It's like, okay, that goes on the bar. And I said something to my son. I was like, I never see anything that we bought you ever. This is the first time I've seen it, and it was a shot glass that I'd given them. That was mother of pearl. The different shape. I was like, this is the only thing we've seen in the last 15 years that we've given you as gifts. They actually will sell them off. They'll go sell them off. And so we started just buying the freaking cards. And I was like, it's fucking Christmas. I'm tired of giving them just money. They've got money. They got good jobs. They got a $250,000 home. We live in their starter home downsizing to fit in it because the bank wouldn't give them a second loan to buy the brand new home that's $250,000. And so, I'm not not doing well lately. I love this home. We have only lived here going to 15 years. I've never lived that long anywhere in my entire life, ever. Even never. I think they beat the record for my kids because I have a stepdaughter, and we made sure they went through high school in the same place. So they were. My son was a year older, and so as soon as that was up, it was in the 90s, for God's sake. And I call them my kids, but they, have grown kids. My stepson, grandson, Ezra, he's also an Army medic now, trained in Fort Sam Houston, which I loved. He said he remembered those stories that we used to tell, and especially mine. And I spent a lot more time than my husband did, and I did Europe and all that, and then civil servant. So I've been everywhere, but never for very long. And it's a surprise to me when I realized I went, wow, we've been, no wonder I'm so old. We haven't moved. So I get to do these things while I'm up here. So, and this is the bar. When we retired, and yes, we're retired. I thank you so much. I thought I looked pretty good too for my age. Y'all are sweet. The age is a state secret, though. So, if you have clearance, let me know. Let's see what we can do about letting you know that. So for now, oops, there it is. Okay. I'm just going to be Lady Wicked at the bar. Got cashews up here, but I'll try not to eat those while I'm up. Everybody's been wondering about this whole thing about Charlie Kirk. At first, I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand why I was grieving. I didn't understand why I said this is Shades of JFK. This is like 4 minutes into me hearing Donald Trump, the president, say, lower the mast half flag. The flag's to half to half mast. In any event, I knew what that meant, of course. And that's when it hit me. I knew this boy only as the kid on campus who said, prove me wrong. I had no idea. I don't watch those things. I don't do politics. None of it, because it would make me so mad. My blood pressure kept going up. I'm not kidding. So I just quit watching all that. And I've been enjoying the podcasting. I asked to get into it 2 years back, year back. Well, it was 2 years. And then, of course, the big accident. So I will always be the amateur. If you come to see an amateur, that's who you've got. Entertainment purposes only. If you want to see some clip, because I'm talking about that subject, I'll drop it for you if you tell me. Otherwise, I don't. It's time consuming. Everybody's already seen it. And now I'm playing it again on my show and using the same thing. I don't like that. I'm more like Joe Rogan, but not that much money. I could drop them in, which may take me a while because I'm alone and I do all this. My studio hasn't been finished yet, again, because of the horrific accident. It's got stairs. I don't do stairs. I will never do stairs again. So, these are some of my habits. Published author. Like I said, I have a small family. I have a great family. My stepkids, and grandkids are wonderful, all grown. And that's when you look in the mirror and you go, "Holy fuck, you really aren't you wearing glasses?" I need to get them changed because I still don't look 74. And I'm kidding. What if you thought I was right, didn't you? And so this is kind of my relaxation time and my time that I scream at the world. And I know there are like-minded people out there. So get in here with me, talk to me. They like that shit. I love doing the paranormal thing. That's one of my go-tos, like the Y-Files. Hey, Jay, Hecklefish, love Hecklefish. Um, Casper Science, hey guys. Um, I love all that stuff. Used to ghost hunt myself. Used to storm chase myself. Like I said, Army veteran. We were the first in, and we opened those doors. Those girls are out there and fighting, and they have a new one. A girl has finally made it into the Golden Knights. First woman, I should say, first woman pilot. Awesome. Was it the Blue Angels? These are the Blue Angels. Somebody will write down here. No, you idiot. I don't care. I'm at a bar. I don't have to call Uber. Baby. Bring it. Well, I've got good insurance and I've got fucking bail money. Bring it up. I get bored. Yes, I can. I decided I'd have another one. It's a bar. It's like that. It's like magic. You just reach out and get stuff. We put a refrigerator, ice maker, all of that in. We had to get new furniture because we conjoined two rooms to incorporate this. My husband went to get the bar. Long story short, it was not the bar he thought he was getting, which was a little corner bar. This is a Remington with the big mirror and all that. It's got the ceramic and all that on the other side. Places for you to put stuff like lemons and stuff. We've got the blender and the drink mixers and the ice makers and the refrigerators. So we redid the whole bottom floor so that we could just retire and sit at the bar. We mounted TVs everywhere. So we made a sports bar out of the house. We were supposed to be turning the upstairs room, the extra one, because my grandson moved out after the pandemic. He had just got back from Korea, and he was now an American citizen and a veteran. I'm saying I did Korea. I'm good. I don't blame him. I got out too. And so he stayed with us. We had turned the upstairs into two apartments with a adjoining bathroom. They were both men, grandfather, grandson. It was fine with him. And we all just shared the kitchen and just stayed out of each other's way, washed our hands, none of us caught nothing. And my husband stayed. He was a long haul driver at the time, and he was with making sure Walmart was stocked so he stayed out there. And I worried because some of the states were ate up with it. Some of them, had absolute enormous death rates. What kills me is I was out there doing the same thing as Donnie, yelling, "It's the China virus." We paid for them, and they let it. This is a biohazard weapon that's been unleashed on the world. Where the fuck is everybody? I said the same thing when H1N1 was out. I said, when are they going to declare at least an epidemic, if not a pandemic? Finally, Obama, old Barry, he's Barry. He finally decides to see if he got a phone somewhere in Hawaii. I loved the Weekend at Bernie's for 4 years. Anybody else? You like that? Yeah, I got time. Yeah, I didn't think so. I'm trying to figure out how to. I don't wind up Charlie Kirk because I'm not going to ever. When it happened, and then I started finding out. I guess I was a prophet because I'd said this, and within days that was even Candace Owens was liking it to that. This was a public execution, a profoundly public execution, and amazing. If this is a 22-year-old amateur with a World War I 30-06. Now, folks, I trained with the men, and I was trained by Vietnam vets. My husband is a sniper, so I asked him a few questions, and we have a 30-06, of course. It's not World War I, a little newer. He's a little cushion, maybe a little kick. Most guy didn't look ahead that stuff. He certainly couldn't take it apart, put it back together in a few seconds or minutes or probably half an hour. This guy didn't have that experience with this. You don't see him with it going up. You're not sure, but it looks like there is some type of a weapon. Whoever the person is that runs across the roof and jumps down 14 feet. Again, I don't believe the 22-year-old furry dude did that. I don't think he was even in track in high school. He didn't know the university. How did he know where Charlie would sit? How did he know what roof had the only shot you could take, for God's sakes? He would have been safe with the other roofs, but there was that one roof that had vision. You could see him. They sat him in the middle of that tent. Charlie used to walk about all the time. He had that nervous energy, talking. And they had him in a chair. And every time he started to get up, somebody put their hand out. Well, he did. But none of this was noticeable until after the fact. The fact that his three friends turned immediately with the report of the rifle. They didn't look to see him. He had not, literally had not hit the ground yet. And so, no, I won't let it die either. Candace Owens, please be safe, girl. Please. Just drop the French thing. Who gives a flat fuck? The French are weird. You know this. You've been. It's just simply not worth it. You're a mom of three, a husband that's wonderful. I saw the interview. It was a great interview, young lady. I've been watching you for years, and I was so angry what happened with the Daily News or Daily Mail and the podcast, which I found out later. I didn't know until I started hearing all this that he was worldwide, because I saw that South Koreans were out there. I'm like, and I'm just constantly crying and seeing the kids with him, and I was just constantly crying. I can't figure it out. And it just killed me that this kid was so sweet. He was so smart. He wasn't using a phone. He wasn't using a book. He wasn't using a tablet. He was using nothing. He waited till your question came in, and then he talked to you. It was just a debate. Whether you liked it or didn't like it, he still talked about it, and he didn't care if you liked it. It was a debate. It was to show, this is what we do in America. We don't give a shit what you do. As long as you obey the law, don't get stupid with us. Most of us are, eye for an eye. I am. And yeah, I conceal carry. I've carried since I was in the military. I figure the life I saved may not just be my own. I was held down. I was pinned under fire with some civilians in San Antonio at the Battle of Flowers, and I did not have a weapon. And there was kids, and I couldn't do anything but try to keep them out of the range of the fire. Automatic fire. You can't move. There are civilians down, and you can't help them yet because you'll join them. And that was the day I said, well, oh, fuck that. I'll be armed from now on. If I can save one kid's life, one mom's life, grandma's, I don't care. Whoever's life it is, if I can save it because I take the shooter out, thank God, and I had a good day. And I would not feel that it wouldn't make me blink. The evil that perpetrates everything, including these evangelical churches, is beyond the pale. It's like you got to wipe yourself down after watching it. I took Robbie McCoy, put him on, it lasted 30 seconds. I think he said two things. Get off. I'm just not nice as far as some things go. I think it's stupid to sit there and let somebody with bullhorn yell in my face that I'm white, so I'm this, that, and the other. I'll shove that thing where that God blessed Lord is the only one that could find it. I'm from Chicago. Which funny flashback is why I'm named Wicked. The CEO said, "You're from Chicago?" "Yes, sir." "Yeah, you got a clean record here." "Yes, sir." "We're going to call you as Wicked." Long time ago, and has stuck throughout my entire career. My kids, my grandkids, they all know. So, yeah, it's fun. So we'll leave that one. I'm still trying to figure out how a judge overturned a jury of 12 who came back on the Minnesota SNAP. They made $7 million illegally off the program. there was a jury of 12. They returned. There was not one dissenter. They all agreed without a shadow of a doubt that the persons being tried were guilty. And the judge said, "Now, they're not guilty, and let them the fuck go. You cannot try them for the same crime twice. You can't do it." So they free bird. Since when did judges start overturning a jury of 12? And if that's what they're going to do, why the fuck do we have a jury of 12? And I wonder why the Supreme Court did not come out and address that situation immediately in public. Well, they buried that story on most channels. I get most of my news from the Christian Broadcast Network and those. No, I'm not a Holy Bible thumper, I think, as they said in my generation. Yes, I try to read my Bible through once a year. The Quran, the Mormon's book, I try to read all of those. I'm not really certain about those two, but I mean, I don't like organized religion. I have homeless people, I have hungry people, I have kids that are homeless. Where are the churches? They're beautiful, but they've locked them and they've got all their gold and glitter, and you can go in and put money in the pot for them and get a little piece of, I don't know what the heck they make that from, but it's a terrible thing. Terrible. They have to come up with something. It's for the kids, like some candy that dissolves. So, go to confession. Confess what? God is omnipresent, omnipotent. God knew before I did what the hell I was doing this afternoon. Like George Kohler. Listen, Cat Williams. I love the way Cat Williams put it. It was like, we're just fucked up, 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 fucked up. Borrow that from him. I love that. That's what I keep saying. So it's going to be finally, we had a sunny day, and I'm running really late, so I probably won't do my water, but I'm such a talker. I'm like, I've got like an animal sanctuary, and they're hungry by 3, and they've got me well trained. So I fiddle with this stuff because it's pulling on my earpiece, and it's pulling on my earphones. And if it does that, then that's why I have stuff on my head trying to hold the shit up. I wish I didn't know what all of my presents were for Christmas, but I pretty much picked them out myself, including a new set of headphones that are wireless. It's like, I know they make these things. Why don't I have one? So I'm trying to positions where if my husband he has a little thing garage, and friends know that he's also an ace mechanic, and they bring cars to him to fix all the time. Sometimes the car will take, a day or two. You got to get the parts and all that. You got to tear it apart, put it back. He likes to do it, I guess. He's 70. So he's doing that, and I'm out Christmas shopping this afternoon. I didn't go to Burlington. I went to go get some groceries and stopped in at the dollar store. I wanted some ribbons and stuff that didn't cost half of my kidney. It only cost me, maybe a tooth or two. So that's from that movie. Anyway, I went in there. I needed a big bin. I needed stuff. Finally found a big bag. Bought my granddaughter, and it's fluffy coats that it's gorgeous. And it's pure black. It's kind of a shorter one. It's the way she wears things. I've also got some information from her mother, so I'm probably going to have to get her a card from her favorite spot. We wouldn't want her to be disappointed, because one year she said, "Well, I have been disappointed for the last few years at Christmas." It was like, girl, you just don't know. My dad or mom would have slapped the piss out of you in front of everybody. They didn't care. There was no come in here and we'll talk. Oh, there was, but they slapped the piss out of you first. Get in there. You didn't make that mistake but once. I don't know if I ever made that mistake, because I always do. Leave and don't be seen, don't be heard. Just stay the flame out of it. Most kids aren't good enough at that. Mine was pretty good, though. He learned from mom. Yeah, kids are to be seen, not heard in those situations. And they didn't talk about politics. They didn't talk about religion, because you have what you have today. You have no news organization. They keep calling, that's what kills me. They call themselves a news organization. 4 volcanoes went off, 15 earthquakes, and they were talking about whether Donnie is sleeping or some stupid shit. Donnie, I like Cat Williams. Donnie said, I call the president Donnie. I like Donald Trump. Yes, I do. Did I vote? No, fuck off. I tell you why sometimes. In any event, he said the first administration he was doing is one of his greatest roles, and he was up there saying, "Our president is a fucking vampire. He's in there at 4 in the fucking morning in the bathroom. He's got him a weed handle, and he's dropping bombs on." I didn't do it as well as Cat. I know. I just love them and that sense of humor. So stop in. When you talk about all kinds of stuff, storm chasing, paranormal, the world at large, and the world that's stupid, Christian things are. I swear, I say I wasn't a Bible thumper because it's just ticking the box. Earthquakes are increasing in frequency, like Jesus said. Volcanoes are increased, just like Jesus said. You would not be able to buy, sell if you did not take the mark. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I went through all this now and all this new equipment, all this AI and all this stuff, and I've seen what's coming down the pike next. Now, I saw they were doing it on the military bases, which freaked me out steadily. They put it in their hand, and all they did was won their hand, paid for their groceries. I saw it live, and that was 3 years ago. So pretty soon, if you can't decide that, oh, this is going to be so much easier, you can do your bank, you can do all this, you can, you just do your hand, unlock your car, do all, because they're already doing it. Don't listen. They're going to say, okay, we're going to turn off your Social Security or whatever you've got if you don't take this. Well, I'll starve to death because I'm not taking that. That means they have total control of you. And they want total control of you, or they wouldn't do that. They're already practicing it. So, just as a warning, look it up, investigate for yourselves, and go, holy shit, like I did. I'm not dead yet. I do remember also that this generation would not pass away before these things came to pass. Another book. See, now, ordinarily, I would just go, that's in that page. Most people don't know what that means anymore. So I'm just, it ticks the boxes. Who's the false preacher? Who's the false church? How hard can it be to pick the fact that it's the false church? It's all of them. You're going to kiss a ring. You're going to do this. You got pageantry. You got all this hierarchy. Jesus was just walking around in a white thing and sandals and said, hey, he was just a good guy doing God's work. So is Charlie Kirk. And I haven't seen that the FBI or the state of Utah have done really anything to solve. Oh, yes, I know. They've got the shooter my ass. This was professional hit. The minute me or my husband, I'm surprised he even answered that. As soon as I heard it, there's one shot, one kill, dude was gone. I said, that fuck ain't even in the state anymore. That fuck's in Europe. He done took that shot and he was gone. And the plane was waiting on him. One of the special planes you can get in, go. He was probably out of the country in an hour and a half after the shooting, if not at least time. And I believe that was as much as I know my name. And Candace has been seeing some strange things at airports. She too has taken flights that are not regular flights. If you don't understand what that means, look it up or send it in my comment. I'll get into further discussion because I got to go here in a few. So I'm trying not to just talk about him, talk about corrupt judges, talk about what in the hell is going on. And why does everybody have a problem with the fact that we're having a 300-foot or something a ballroom putting in? We're not paying for that. They didn't have a problem with paying. They paid for Obama to turn the tennis court into a basket court. $3 million. Oh, fuck. Are you fucking kidding me? Did I fall out last year? What the? I got to go check my license almost every day, just see when the fuck I was born, because it seems like they're thinking it was yesterday. No, no, I was taught to type on a manual typewriter. The phone was actually screwed to the wall, and there wasn't but the one. And you turned into a linebacker trying to get to that bitch. Mother used to what? Nobody dare touch mom. My dad, these were my adopted family, but they were great people. They were moonshine runners, man. This was the way I was raised. This was a different country. Like I said, own food. You didn't have the meat part, but they were right there. You told them what slices you wanted, the bacon, the ham, everything was right there, and it was a meat market. You bought other things at the grocery store, your soap and stuff like that. Then suddenly there was Kmart. You could get a lot at Kmart. There was a lot you couldn't back then. You couldn't get groceries, but it was pretty cool. My parents ordered things out of the Sears catalog, the Montgomery Ward catalog, the Penny's catalog. I'm not sure if any of them are even still open. And when you got Christmas and you opened it and it was a pair of warm house shoes for the winter, you were fucking grateful. You didn't turn around and say you were disappointed because it didn't have 15 controllers for you and your friends to play a fucking game. And I'm like, what? And their parents tell this girl, and I adore my granddaughter. It's not that, but this just, it's still sticking with me. Can't lose the fact that they did that. And they wanted her to actually say that. When we were taught the complete opposite. We don't give a fuck if you don't like it. Never use it, never look at it again. Re-gift it to somebody, but you don't dare look like you don't like that. And you didn't ask him again. You didn't. You were damn skippy. You knew. They weren't playing around with the words. They told you straight to fuck up. You will get an ass kicking if you so much as sourpuss. It was just disrespectful. And even to me, it was disrespectful on both my son, my daughter in law, and my granddaughter's part. But also in my generation, or at least for me, it's still free will, and it's not my place to judge. So I just tucked it away under her hat and made sure we just gave them money after that. This year, after such a tragedy had happened, and I can't quite recover from, and I'll never be the same. I'm dealing with it. It's cool. And I said, it's Christmas, last year's Christmas. I managed to actually get in there in the wheelchair and go to their house. Instead of them coming to me, I'll have to load up the wheelchair and get back in the wheelchair and run out. It's just exhausting. It's just exhausting. And they live on a hill like we do, so I had to be pushed up. And he had to get my son to pull up on the other side. So degrading. It was like, you couldn't have just brought the gift to the fucking house. I'm an exit away. I don't say that. I stand here. So here, Mom, here's your drink. Yeah, he knows. Here, shut the fuck up. But yeah, it's a different generation. They don't. And I said this year, I said, we bought them each all a gift and we put the gift cards in the gifts. And sure enough, they didn't like any of the gifts. They didn't want us to take them back and get the money back, which would have been a substantial amount. I've never seen them use one thing that we've given them except that a set of shot glasses. That was it. And we've bought them a bar, basically. They just need to suck it. The big tubs for the beer and the ice. We've done all that. Has their name on it. Nope. I haven't seen one of them. It's just one of the shot glasses. So I'm just tired of this. We spend, $40, $50, whatever, at least per gift. And then there's $100 gift card and they don't like the gift. And they're selling it or trading. They're doing something because they don't want us to take it. Yeah, so I'm just tired. I'm going to get paid. They don't get money this year. If they want money, they can go to the bank. Their bank, not mine. I'm tired. I'm old. And I just lived through hell. I didn't see anybody for a year. I didn't. My grandson stopped in 4 times, and my son stopped in 1 time in over a year. 1 time. and I was broken when the hurricane hit. I had been for 2 weeks, and I'm, in a really bad way. And I can't have the surgery because the VA is down for another 2 weeks. So after a month goes by, I finally get into to the University of Augusta. They operated within a few hours. They were immediately distressed about this. I didn't have my son showed up that one time after I got home from the surgery, which took 15, 16 hours. And I'm all, we usually treat you for pain, but they had me treated for pain because I was a mess. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? He doesn't like to do the sick thing or hospitals. And it's like, and if you are here, why now? It's been a month. You ain't showed up, ain't called. I sent you some puzzle books. Fuck you. I got a puzzle for your mother. You mad, mother? A little disappointed. You brought me the only get well card I got. A little bitty, looked like a cup with daisies and stuff in it. It must have been about $6.99 at Walmart. And the card. Bye, Mom. Bye, Mom. Didn't see him again until I went to his house. Yep, that's the family I have. You just gotta love it. You just okay. And I have Christmas coming up, and I'm not doing it their way. It's my Christmas too. But we have a nice bar. All of a sudden, the grandson quit drinking. He's 26. That's never gonna fly long. And he's one of those players they call them. They think they're so bad because they play video games. Anyway, and my mind just fogs up when I think of my grandson like this. I'm like, where did I go wrong? This kid was fine. He was just fine. Now it's just so weird. To us, to my generation, we grew up. We had a TV. It had 3 channels. You could almost see one if you held the tin foil and the antenna out the window. You might catch Barney Fife in there for a minute or two. Baseball, you could see like a charm. The president, he's on every channel. You could see him fine. We used to wish he would go fussy. Nope. But if you were like watching Starsky and Hutch in order through the snow. And then Dad bought a color TV. He retired. I was already enlisted, and I was working nights and stuff, days and nights, and I was going to college and working. So I never really saw this TV. Mother had the brand new furniture because they had retired. They had given the brother the old house that I grew up in, and they took this small house because the girls were grown. My sister wouldn't get up the day I left. My father wouldn't get up the day I left. And I'm like, and my mom's going, come have some coffee. And I'm in there and I'm waiting on my recruiter who's picking me up, driving me to St. Louis. I'm in Christopher, Illinois. It's like Southern Illinois. And I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? Don't you worry about that. Here, take this. And it was $60 that she'd probably been saving 2 or 3 months for. And I was like, I get fed to just take that just in case, which turned out to be a lifesaver because I was stuck in a hotel for 6 weeks, although they did voucher everything. So yeah, it was, and I never found out. The adopted father was a World War II veteran. He was Navy. He was at Pearl Harbor. He was on leave. So a lot of people died that day. A lot of people died that day. He couldn't get to his ship. He couldn't get to his ship. There were 3 brothers that went in. 2 made it back. They all went in the Navy. There was like 5 Sullivans. And I think there's a destroyer or some kind of a ship named after them. At any event, something they didn't talk about, but I didn't realize that there was a problem, and I was a WAC trainee, like it would have been when he was in. That hadn't changed, and I couldn't understand. I was going to be both nurse and secretary, trained in both, aced both, ready to go. And suddenly, the sister's not talking, the father's not talking, the mother's whispering, and I'm like, I don't fucking know. And on the day I leave, it's like 4 in the morning because we got to drive to St. Louis and be there by 6:30. and that would be pushing it. So off we go, and they didn't say goodbye, nothing, Uh, the mother did not give me a hug. Bye bye. And the poor recruiter, I think, felt sorry for me. He fed me bananas all the way there because I had to waver some of my weight. It was too small. It was too small. And he said, eat this, eat this. And turns out bananas, however many bananas you eat, if it's 3 pounds, you gain 3 pounds. And I had flunked the last time I had gone in to the induction center by 2 pounds. So I'm eating 3 and 4 pounds of banana, but I weighed in right. I made it. Otherwise, I'd have gone back home again, and I don't know if I'd have had a third try because of the way it had changed from the wax. You had to get out there and do those 300 push-ups, and believe me, that's not fun. So I had a lot of fun with that, and the family never changed about that. I don't know what's up. The father died, and before he died, I had flown in from Germany. I was stationed there to see him. He was very sick. He wouldn't speak to me. Still, never spoke to me again. Asked the mother, asked the sister. Nobody talked to me. Nothing. Asked the grown brother. He's 13 years older, and he's adopted, but he was their actual nephew. And we and my sister were sisters, and they adopted us together. Um, but nobody would talk. I don't know what it was all about. It still bugs me, obviously, to this day. Like I said, I'm the only immediate family member left alive. All of the others died of drinking too much, which why my boss, honorable husband only lets me have these little bottles. Uh, Sorry, my lips bug me in the wintertime, and I hate it when they crack and peel and do that stuff. And right now it's in the 40s with this monstrous breeze. It's wonderful. Feels like Chicago. I used to love running around in downtown Chicago. I was young, and the parents didn't go with me. I went by myself, bought my ballet shoes there and stuff. It was hard to get things. You didn't have Walmart. So you had to go to the special store, and it was downtown Chicago. And I lived in the suburbs. So it was fun. I loved it. I ice skated. I did, we had a great, my husband said my school was more like a resort because he went and seen it with me. I took him. And it covered, I think it covers 8 miles. But we had tennis, we had archery, we had gymnastics, we had, choir, we had you had to learn another language. You did French, Spanish, German, I think, were the three, and all these things. Fencing, uh, tennis, track, all these things. And I did all of that, including I was in karate at 9 and stayed there till I went in the army. Because I'm little, I'm 5'2", so I want them to underestimate me while I kick their ass, which is the fun part. Now I just carry weapons because I'm old. I don't like bruises. I'm cute like that. I don't know what else it is, but I see my time is about up, and I was trying to go through this quicker today instead of talking about me. I think it tends to be me looking at myself and trying to figure out what am I doing up here and what would be interesting. And then I get a drink, and I'm trying to slow down from doing 5 stores this morning. And somehow I think I'm going to have to make dinner. Some of my cats are running back and forth as if the house is on fire. It's a mom, we need your attention. We're hungry thing. They're experts at waking me up before dawn as well. They're just that good. So, anybody, like I said, if you've seen it, hit the like, subscribe. It's free. You can take it off later. Who cares? Give an old lady a break. I'm not giving this up. I still say that it's the best medium you could possibly have to meet people, to laugh, to learn, if nothing else, to keep the weirdos that are trying to run our lives away for a little while. Have a drink, have a laugh. We all have to go back to the real world and do all that stuff later. But for an hour, I get to pop up here and say, guys, whatever we want to talk about within reason, keep your manners. Let's talk about it. Throw it in the comments, do something. Again, I think if you're watching my new channel, you get the idea of who I am and what it's about, which is why I kind of talk more about me and what I'm zeroing in on TV, if you call it that. It's just, I mean, we even gave up on satellite TV and cable TV 10 years, 15 years ago, about 15 years ago. There's nothing on, you know. They're showing reruns of soap operas still. I mean, that poor one brunette, she Erica, she kept coming out. She had to be 93, but they got the camera work coming back way from. She's way over here. She got her hair in the same. Wasn't no close-ups. We age, you know. It's like with me, I just accept whatever it is. It's I earned it, and I had fun earning it most of the time. You can't have everything your way. You can't get out of life alive. I think most of us are not afraid of dying. We're just afraid of how we're going to die. And making the preparations and all that feels like, oh, it's kind of, or open that nut. Yeah, yeah. Things like that. But generally, it's needed. I don't know. That's it. Guess I better get off. One last shout out to Candace Owens. Girl, they're so like you. You're a brilliant young lady. You have a wonderful life. Don't let those bastards take it away by cooperating in their stupidness. Charlie, I understand. I wouldn't quit till I found out what happened to my friend either. But I want you to be safe while you're doing it, and your kids, and I want your family staying safe. They murdered him. They executed him. I believe the guy in the white hat did his thing. The crack shot out immediately after that. All three of those men hit the parking lot. They never looked at Charlie. So the guy is up on Charlie's chair that he fell out of when he was dying and got the cameras and the SIM cards. There's a whole lot of stuff there. And Candace, rightly, I understand. And thank God for you, young lady. Thank God for you. You're a blessing. You really are. And I don't want anything to happen to you. So please don't let these idiots take control of the narrative, for one. The French are really weird, honey. They've always been that way. I swear to God, read a few books. I know, you know what I mean. They're a little booble off. I mean, just like a sandwich side of a picnic. Like the Britons don't have dentistry. It's just, and I love all Britons, I really do. But for the life of me, I can't figure out what they don't go to the dentist. But I digress. I get off here. I really do worry about you. I think we all do. All of us that are sane, that are left, that are sane, about all of the things that seem to me biblical. I saw a fucking camel floating by in the Sahara Desert where water was pouring out of sand dunes as if they were on top of a fire hydrant. I saw this. This was a couple months ago. When I'm seeing freaking camels floating in the desert, it's biblical. I saw another clip where these people are coming, bringing these kids home. It's a bus. They hit a swarm of locusts. You couldn't see the bus. Again, fairly biblical. I saw that Santorini had 16,000 earthquakes in 3 days. Yeah, you see where I'm going. This kind of biblical. So, you know, I'd like to believe that I'm right with Jesus, but I'm a human being like everybody else is. We all put our pant legs on one at a time. I don't care what you do. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're rich, poor, purple, and painted stripes. I don't give a shit. Your thing is your thing. That's what America's about. So don't get stupid. And there might be somebody out there like me in that crowd, and I'll teach you where you can get that bullhorn from when we get to the hospital. You don't have the right to get in someone else's face and deny them the right to speak while saying you have freedom of speech, but you are changing it in my country. Knock it off. Again, I believe there's a whole lot of people like me out there. And if we don't connect soon, while this is free and worldwide, we may never have the chance to do so again. And I think it's a hoot. I've got so many friends that are so funny, but they're so shy, they won't come on. My husband won't come on. Most of my family will not even subscribe because they have never subscribed to anything like that. And they'll watch it. I don't know if they're hitting the likes, but they won't subscribe. It's just, but I gotta go. I've got 2 more dresses to hem for the holidays. This would be one of them. I think it's really cute. It's floor length. It's got a little belt thing that comes up here, and I accessorize them. But it's got the big skirt, and I have a crinoline underneath. It's really lovely. So it sways and moves. It's pretty. Without that, you could just go to lunch in it. It's, I can make any of these things move around. I like the style. I've done it for about 5 years. Certainly after the accident. Getting the pants on are hard enough, but getting those straight legs off, yeah, my ankle goes, have you lost your ever loving fucking mind? Don't do that again. So I have graduated to more dresses. Kind of reminds me of my mom. But I digress again. I had live chat up. I see I'm trying to get off and it's going, do you want to go? And I'm still talking, going, not really. So I guess I better go. We can have a lot of fun out here, guys. Even if you don't want to subscribe to me, put in the comments if you have a webcast site so I can visit you. Or tell somebody else you know who has one so I can visit you. In the meantime, stay free, stay safe, stay loved, watch your back, and enjoy the holidays. Bye, guys.